And that's bringing us to my most favorite part of the podcast or the episode, and that is the My Android Journey story. And of course, there's none other than the man of the hour himself, Brandon Hennis.
Thank you very much, Mr. Warren Carr, and good to be here. The Android journey starts back in the latter part of 2011. The first experience you'll ever come across with a Motorola Citrus phone running Android 2. I said 2.2 in our take one that busted. It was actually Android 2.1 that it was, not 2.2. 2.1 for the Motorola Citrus. Perhaps a disaster in my first experience for Android. Not getting a good experience for Android on the first run. That run was awful. Unfortunately, it was an absolute mess. And needless to say, because of that, I had to splurge and come up with ideas. I had TalkBack installed, and thankfully it had its own little personal readouts installed. By the way, for those who are curious about what synthesizer it was stuck with, well, SVOX Pico, unless of course you wanted to install mobile accessibility, which I got help installing mobile accessibility, but I got it, and that was a great experience. Although, despite having mobile accessibility, I still could not get the phone exactly to my liking. So I give up on that, and for a while I kind of went into Fruitland, but then, well, you see, I kind of came out of the buried box, and in doing so, Motorola Droid Ultra. The Droid Ultra, of course, being a 2013 in 2013, and that was before I tried the LG Enlighten in 2012. The LG Enlighten had Android 2.3. It was an amazing device. The thing about it was, of course, that I liked is the slider keyboard, because since TalkBack back then wasn't exactly touch screen friendly without the aid of the eyes free keyboard, to have a keyboard which you could do arrow keys and enter, arrow keys to go up and down the menus, enter to select, was a bit of a different side of the pond for me. And I was like, oh, this is nice. Instead of touching things on a screen, Android 5. Or Android 2.3.5 Gingerbread, one of my favorite versions just for the name of it, really, because, I mean, it did a lot for its time. But then I didn't get to try an Android 4 phone. I did get to try Android 4.1 and above, and that was courtesy of the Droid Ultra and 13. Then we've got to fast forward because 2014, I didn't have anything Android related. The Android version that I picked up was, 4.3, which I later experienced off of a Note 2 from T-Mobile. Meanwhile, 4.4, KitKat, with a Galaxy Note 2. All the while getting a Galaxy exhibit with 4.1. So 4, 4, and 4. And then, of course, while all of that's happening, a tablet exposure to the Nexus 7 gave me some fun hopes that tablets would be just as fun as phones were. And sure enough, they were. Well, then we go a little bit ahead. 2015, I mentioned the two Note 2s in 2015. 2016, nothing a whole lot different other than the fact I had just received a Galaxy Victory to mess around with, because I love to mess around with phones. While all that happened, not a Motorola, but a Droid 4. Who remembers the Droid 4s? Had a slide-out keyboard, had the touchscreen, so either or worked with TalkBack. I would often pull out the slider keyboard to type in my credentials because I could work better off a QWERTY than a touchscreen, and even to this day I still struggle with touchscreens, but I do my best. We go a little farther forward into the 2017-18 time frame. Now, mind you, at this point I had not really had any much in the way of working new Android devices. Everything I had was pretty much Android 7 with the advent of the Moto E4. When Android 8 came out, Oreo would not update on the Moto E4, so basically I was kind of going to be behind, I realized. So it wasn't until 2019, 2020, 2021 that things really started to surge. Phone-wise, let's not forget the mention of my friends giving me different phones with different OSs at the time. In 2016, my friend Kayla sent me a Galaxy S4. She also bought me later on a Blue Studio X8 HD. Then, whose battery kind of failed. Then we go to the iPhone um, replacement of the hour. And that's when I recently just acquired a Samsung Galaxy S21. And I've also been playing around with an LG Velvet. All of this to say the following. When it comes to Android devices, besides my Galaxy S8, S9, and the Galaxy S7 my mom's had, and my family's had a couple of S7s, and I've seen one S6. I can say that aside from the Galaxy S3, I have literally seen every phone with the exception of the S3, the S10, and the S20, as far as the S series of phones in the Samsung line. I can also say that my phone brand list includes Samsung, Motorola, only one Blue, and one CoolPad. But everything else is Samsung, Motorola, or LG. You now know, in a shortened version, the journey. Prior to that all, I started out with a Samsung Haven flip phone. And in the words of the late Paul Harvey, now you know the rest of the story.
Thank you so much, Brandon. That was a wonderful story. And always, like I said, this happens to be my favorite part of the episodes or the podcast.
Of course.
So I'd always have wonderful laughs about these experiences. And
you never know when somebody's got a phone that likes to do a little talking. And if it does a little bit of jiving and walking, then I guess you know you got you a good phone, man.
There you go. Exactamundo. And Jessica, we want to thank you so much too for volunteering to step in here and talk about that smart recorder. Thank you so much. And Austin, how about you close us out by giving our info and how people can get hold of us and subscribe and do all that good stuff.
So people can get hold of us and listen to all our previous episodes, including this one, by visiting us on blindandroidusers.com. They can search for us on YouTube, that is Blind Android Users, all different words. They can join our mailing list by sending in an email to blindandroidusers plus subscribe@groups.io. They can, if they have a question, you can send us the question or feedback or comment to contact us at blindandroidusers.com. And we would like to ask you to come live, but if you cannot come live and you want to send your pre-recorded Android journey, you could send it to myandroidjourney@blindandroidusers.com. And the links to join us on Telegram, to follow us on Twitter, and join our club on Clubhouse will be in the show notes. So please read the show notes. That is it from us this week.
That is correct. So I want to again thank everybody that has been a part. The voices that you've heard on the podcast today include Jessica Mangan, Warren Carr, and Austin Pinto. For those three, for now, my name is Brandon Hennis saying so long and thank you for joining us for yet another episode of the Blind Android Users Podcast. Join us again next time, and we'll have some more lined up for you. Stay with us. Ed Green will be back with you guys, I'm sure, in the saddle. But for now, Brandon Hennis and the company signing off.
Bye-bye, guys. Thank you so much, and see you next week. And that has been another episode of the Blind Android Users Podcast. As always, we appreciate hearing from you. You send those email messages to contact us at blindandroidusers.com. For those My Android Journey stories, we encourage you to send those to myandroidjourney@blindandroidusers.com. Until we see you in our next episode, you have a wonderful day.